Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Hope you're having a good week so far. Now we got some exclusive reviews to do this week and some new bands to the channel as well. Although some old members that we know about. Says here, yo dude, this is Phil from Astraea, who's a band we've had on in the past a bunch of times. Astraea is on a hiatus at the moment, so this is my current doom metal project. The name is Dudjom, which is pronounced Dudjom. It's Tibetan for demon tamer. This is a collab with me and two other friends where we aim to explore spiritual ideologies utilizing the various subgenres of doom. Sounds pretty cool. The first track is about using an entheogen. And I had to even look that up. What that is psychedelics, basically. Anything that makes you trip out is in an entheogen. And we're using that to experience what lies, psychedelics, meditation, prayer, etc. And it's our first single, and it was completely DIY, which you know we love. So there you go. So we've got a new band to check out, completely DIY. Bands that we've, members that we've seen in the past and new guys as well, and all about tripping out on psychedelics. So let's see what it's all about. It's a real long track at 7:42, so we're going to have a good listen. The track's called Entropy's Embrace. Let's give it a spin. Oh, bloody hell. Better get it on the screen as well. Sound. Great bass tone.
The gate is open, but I can't seem to find my way through. Will I be chosen, or am I stuck in life's tomb? I faded into the darkness, can't find the light. All the shapes and shadows fill my sight. Confiding within my own universe. Trapped in the realm I just can't comprehend. Transcending doesn't always have to be permanent. It's into the best of love. But how we live determines time and still we feed our minds but starve our souls. We starve our souls.
Cool line. We feed our minds but starve our souls.
Going to my own world of darkness, and going to there is much more to do. In one reflection, doesn't mean self-obsession. Now one perspective, gaining yourself to me. Confiding within my own ignorance, trapped in the realm I just can't comprehend. Transcending doesn't always have to be one again. And maybe it's into the vast unknown. But how we live determines how we We feed our minds but starve our soul.
I like that line.
We starve our soul. I finally found my way through here. I will escape the darkness and despair.
Bass tone's great.
Emerge into the light, now I'm free from here.
Sounds great. Nice, man. What's that?
Transcending
I was gonna say, is that 7 minutes?
always have to be permanent. And maybe it's into the vast unknown. But how we live determines our destiny. We feed our minds but starve our soul. We starve our soul.
Even so, that didn't seem like 7 minutes to me. Got lost in the vibe of it. Nice. I thought it was a great track. I really like the instrumental parts of this track. I thought they just had a great tone, all the different layers of guitar and stuff in there. Drums sounded great, cymbals sounded great, and it just worked really nicely in those sections. Now, there was a couple of mixing things that happened when the vocal came in that you need to kind of remedy in the future, and that was it. The instrumental part sounded so great because it had been mixed really well as an instrumental at that stage. So when we had that long intro before the vocal came in, the section towards the end there, those parts sounded really right because they'd been mixed right for just instruments. But when the vocal came in there, what you'll notice, and I'll turn it down but so we can see it on the screen, which is why I always try to have it on the screen. You can see that the stereoizer here, they're not straight down the middle, it's not mono, but they're not really clipping right into the edges of that triangle there, which are the kind of far left and rights of your ears. And what that meant was, I'll stop that now. What that meant was, I've just done that and you can't even see what I'm talking about. I'll do it again so you can see what I'm talking about. Look over there at the far bottom right, you can see that it's not super wide on the stereo there. and it's not clipping the far edges of the semicircle there, which are the far edges of your ears. It's kind of like this in front of you. And what happened with that, because of that, the instruments were kind of mixed, not super panned out wide. And then when the vocal came in, which is again straight down the middle, it sat on top of the instruments and kind of, because they weren't panned quite as far around, you had the vocal, the drums, the bass, and 2 layers of guitar, and the lead guitar sections as well, all competing for that small space in the middle. Now, if you just pan the guitars a bit further round, it would have left more space for the vocal in the middle. It wouldn't have felt like the vocal was sitting on top of the guitars. It would have felt more like they were side by side with the guitars. If you imagine that stereo like a stage, and the band's on the stage, you have the drummer in the middle, you have the singer in the middle, but then you have the guitarist at either side, and then that blends it all in, and you get kind of a nice stereoscape in front of you like that. And the only thing was that the guitars weren't panned far enough for when the vocal came in for it not to sit on top of them, and that was my only complaint with that. So remember that, guys, going forward, pan your guitars further than you're doing at the moment, and it will leave more room for the vocal to sit in there rather than sitting on top of the guitars there. Other than that, I thought the bass sounded absolutely amazing in this. It cut through, it had a force to it, even though it wasn't a dirty, grisly, grindy bass tone, which I'm always on about on the Mondays. It was a great, powerful, clean bass tone. And those are hard to achieve. Often, with a clean bass tone, you don't get the power there. You get more of the clarity and the crunch maybe. But when you can push the low end right on a clean bass tone so that it comes through with a punch and a power, you've really done a nice job. And this bass tone had that, so they did superb with that. I say I really like the sound on the drums and stuff in there as well. And because the way that it was mixed with the vocal on top of the guitars, I felt that they had to compensate and push the volume of the vocal higher, and they had vocal layering and stuff in there as well, with a shouting vocal in the background and things like that. So those had to, because they were sat on top of the guitars, they had to be pushed a bit louder, whereas if the guitars had been panned just a bit more, it could have been sat back a bit more. I would have put a bit more reverb as well on the melodic vocal, just to give it that psychedelic feel, because it's a psychedelic track. And one of the things that makes music sound psychedelic is putting a bunch of effects on there, reverbs, phasers, and all of those kind of weird effects, Those are the cool things that make psychedelic music. So I would have liked to have seen just a bit more psychedelic effects on the vocal to give it that kind of tripping out, kind of the sounds that you hear while you're tripping out. They're not just normal sounds. They're like echoey and weird and distant and all of that stuff. And to bring that into a psychedelic track, I think would have been nice a bit more as well. So there you go. I really enjoyed it. I got lost in the track. It's 7 minutes 42, and it did not feel like that. It felt like maybe a 5-minute track, longer than normal, but not super long, which the 7:42 is. Lots of different sections in there, lots of cool things going on. But yeah, just with the mixing for in the future, just pan those guitars a little bit further, and you'll give more space for the vocal to sit in the music instead of on top of the music. And then I would say, add a few more effects to those vocals just to make them sound more psychedelic because of the vibe of the band and the vibe of the record and stuff like that. There you go. I've really enjoyed checking that out today. It's nice to see when, bands that are on a hiatus and someone's then in a different band, but they still want to get back on the channel and let us check them out and see what it's all about as well. So that's very cool. I'll be looking forward to seeing more from these guys in the future, and hopefully some more from Australia as well, because I do like that band and we've had them on the channel a bunch of times, and I was on board with them, following along. So hopefully see them again at some point in the future. Hope you're having a good day today. That's it from me tomorrow. That's it from me today. But tomorrow I'm going to do another grind show because we've just got ridiculous amounts of grind in the queue. So I need to get through it. I'll do a grind show tomorrow. And then on Friday, we got another review with a band that we've been checking out for a while, Nearly Dead Creatures. So come back for that as well. Hit the subscribe and all that jazz if you like checking out underground metal. That's it from me today, guys. We'll see you around. Cheers. Bye.